visiting the very pretty island of Nevis. It's been really beautiful. We've been quite taken with it. That lush green volcano just dominates it. Lovely plantations, nice people. A bit sad to leave, really. And we are sailing again. Past the Four Seasons. Past the Narrows. And we're going to go down the back, the lee side of St. Kitts. Main engine hour. The wind's going to be a bit tricky because it's going to be off the island. But we'll see how we go. Looks like it's going to be a nice gentle sail. Here's the boss this morning. Back, nice to be sailing again. Going past the southern end of St. Kitts, and for once the volcano is completely out of the cloud. Haven't seen that very often. We're in a bit of a high pressure system at the moment. The high pressure from the Azores High is pushed down quite far south, so no trade winds, and we've been in this high for a few days. It's all about to change next week. For this trip we were going to go to St. Bart's, but we've now left Nevis and we're heading around the back of St. Kitts, heading for St. Eustatius, which is a Dutch island just here. Now heading right in the lee of St. Kitts. Volcano is actually clear today, and it's pretty high up there. It would have been so nice to have climbed it on a clear day. Just going gently along, 6.5 knots in 10 knots of wind, just off our starboard beam. Volcano just touching the cloud, and through the gap between the mast and the Genoa we have Stay-sha. Having a nice little sail here. We're quite well round the back of St. Kitts now. As usual with these islands, the wind is going further and further aft, and then all of a sudden, when the wind comes round the other side, it's going to come probably bang on our nose, and we'll be hard on. Let's see. Now that we're seeing this end of St. Kitts from close up, well, offshore, we can see that the brimstone fort there is just sitting on top of a perfectly formed volcanic vent. What a perfect place to put a fort, and the fortress is completely dominating the top of it. Eustatius getting closer and closer. And sure enough, as we get past the volcano here, the wind swings round from the stern, 60 degrees off now, doing a nice 7.5 knots. Beautiful, beautiful day. Now we're moving. Lovely. The wind's whistling through the valleys in between these volcanic peaks. And we are sitting nicely. Flat water, beam reach, 8 knots. Sailing on the wind rather than trying to set a course, because the wind is all over the place. All the time past the beautiful volcanic peaks of St. Kitts, with Brimstone Fort there right in front of us. Now we're in between the islands, saying goodbye to Kitts behind. Just see some barks there on the horizon, 30 miles away. And into our sights is Stay-sha. And the wind has just come back on our beam again. Nicely filled in, 12 knots of wind, doing 8 knots. Luckily for this tiny little island, we actually do have a Stay-sha flag. Amazing.
Approaching St. Eustatius.
Stay-sha's volcano is called the Quill. It stands 600 meters high, not as high as Nevis or Kitts, which is almost 1,000. Still quite impressive though. And after seeing Plymouth, you do wonder about these houses sitting on the slopes.
Check-in formalities completed, paid our environmental fees at the national parks, and now we are ready to go and explore. In the lower town there are lots of ruins of old warehouses. Some of these warehouses have been beautifully restored. These are some of them, with two cannons poking in the back. The old gin house, beautifully restored, with a very nice restaurant here on the seashore. This former warehouse used to belong to East India Company. This one is also very nicely restored.
This is Fort Orange, very nicely restored. Made by the Dutch Jews in, don't know when. A slight correction, the fort was built by the French in the early 1600s and modified by the Dutch. Then used for several purposes, including a prison, administration, and now it's with the Tourism Authority. Certainly had a good prominent position over the bay. This is where they did the famous salute to the first American ship in 1776 and seriously upset the English, who retaliated by pillaging the town. Good old Brits, always trust them to be. Nice view over the lower town, what's left of it. And there's the slave road up to the upper town. And the fort. Just like lots of forts. Cannons, rocks, push pits, and nobody else.
The government's guest house, which was used as guest house during 1920s till the 60s, and in the 1720s it had some years of history as military side barracks.
Lovely trees in the garden. And onto cobbled streets everywhere. You really feel like you're in Europe.
This is the town dock. Today we are going scuba diving.
Are you ready to go diving in the rain?
My favorite conditions for diving. Slightly chilly.
We are off on our first dive. You can need sunglasses. Lovely. A bit bouncy when we came out, but it was nice down there. Wish we could have grabbed one of those lobsters. They would have been yummy. Heading off for our second dive. Ready?
Yep.
Not sleepy?
A little bit.
We are going to do Nitrox.
How was the dive?
Very good. Piece of improvisation.
Scuba Quad dive shop before sunset. We've had 2 brilliant dives with them. Great Dutch people. We just love them. We will be hiking the Quill today. Couldn't find a taxi, so we walk to the mountain. 40 minutes of walking very steep roads. Looks like we've made it to the beginning of the first trail. We followed the wrong map, and after 50 minutes we ended up next to the radio mast, but there seems to be a trail here, so we will attempt this one.
May not be the right path, but it's going up very steeply.
Looks like we are on the right way now. We are crossing another path here. This probably goes up the Quill, and this down here is going around the mountain. Nice view of Oranje Bay and Upper Town.
Cloudy Bay's that dot down there in the blue. And now we go down to the crater.
Here we go, on ropes and rocks again.
Into a lost world by the looks of it.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
This scenery through here is just absolutely amazing. You really do feel like you're in prehistoric times. Lots and lots of bird song as well. Look at this beautiful tree. Makes me sad when I think we've got teak decks on the boat that probably came from a tree like that. Just look at the size of this tree. It is amazing. That is one of there, that little person. Incredible. I guess they never chopped trees down here in the crater because they could never get them out. So it's just so natural. Like it's never been touched.
The roots are just amazing.
I think that's the most amazing tree I've ever seen. I think I'm Tarzan! No!
That made a good movie.
Not quite Tarzan, but getting there.
This is a hermit crab. We've seen several of them along the way.
Strange to find a hermit crab down here in the crater. Even stranger that it could find a shell. Look at it, hidden in there, this little claw. There you go, you're a long way from the sea. Just look at these hardwood trees. This is what the whole of the Caribbean must have been like before it was raped by the Europeans for its hardwood. Clearly they couldn't get this wood out the crater. There's hummingbirds, there's all sorts of life. It's just so idyllic. Another massive tree root. This one must be 5 meters, 6 meters across. Goes all the way up. Huge. Okay, one is in front now. She can clear all the cobwebs. Lots of them going through here. In this base of the crater. This is quite a trail. A huge root one I was just stepping over.
Lunch break, pretzels and Dutch waffles.
On the edge of the rim, looking down into the crater.
Catching our breath before the next hike.
Yeah.
We don't stop here.
Wonderful view, lovely breeze.
This crab is mountain climbing. After the lunch break, time for some entertainment.
Tricky takeoff from here. Amazing view of the crater from here. just like a lost world down there. It's a very conveniently placed piece of rock. We just flew the drone from.
And now that we are back up, we go for the panorama trail through there.
Bit of an upward one, this one. Looks like it's ropes again. At least it's dry, eh?
Good for a change. We are on the rim here, straight down on both sides. Yes, puffing and panting.
Literally sheer down each side. This is nice, nice little rock to sit on. It's been there for a few million years, so I guess it's not going to roll over down way under the crater down there. Come on, little mountain goat. We're gonna have a nice view up here, I think.
Well, it's called panorama trail, isn't it?
Yeah. Top of the world. We've made it. Quite a view. Over to Saba there, the north end of the island, Saint Martin, St. Bart's. It's all here.
And now going back down. Sheer drop that side, path here, sheer drop the other side. After two very nice hikes, going back down to the town to sit for our Nitrox exam. This is the easy part.
Easy and boring after the crater.
And back to the lower town on the old slave road.
Back at the dive centre for our last coffee. We are celebrating because we passed our Nitrox exam. Hurrah! We are certified. This is the dive centre. Very nice bar and shop. A bit quiet at the moment because all the other guys are out diving.
Very nice people here.
Very, very nice people and a nice setting.
Farewell, St. Eustatius. I wish we stayed longer, but we have to move on. Wind is chasing us away.